Hello Pisces, welcome to your April 2017 general reading. It's the first time I'm doing love in general separate, so hopefully you find some value in it. I'm going to be doing the triple cross spread, so it's going to be a little bit different than the love readings I did this month. Also, quick note, I've had a couple of readings that were a little bit tough love, and I'm saying this in the last few readings that I've done because you're actually my last one. And we are in a Mercury retrograde this month, so I think some of that toughness or frustration or whatever is kind of coming out, especially after just having a Venus retrograde. It was like back to back, plus the eclipse. It was just like one thing after another. So I'm not trying to be negative if the reading comes out that way. It's just kind of how it happens sometimes, all right? So I'm not trying to project that out there. I'm afraid that people are going to get, tarot is a reflection of truth. All right, plain and simple. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, 8 of Wands. Either communication or travel in its most simple form. Change, rapid change, fast change, things that you want, manifestation. Okay, so a lot of really great energies around you now. The good positive sides of Mercury retrograde is that a lot of time, especially because it's happening in Taurus, which is an earth sign, so a lot of the practical and material elements of life kind of have sort of the spotlight. And in terms of career and finance, we tend to either create new opportunities or find new opportunities to really help or adjust our situation, in a positive way. What's crossing you, the Wheel of Fortune, that's kind of rough. It's like what's crossing you or what's challenging you is time, right? Like you kind of just need to be patient. I think that you have readiness. I think you have, like you may be even a little bit anxious or antsy to really get that next chapter started, to get that new project off the ground, whatever it is. But universe, Lady Fortune is like, not yet. And you may even feel a little bit unlucky because this also speaks to luck as well. Maybe luck feels like it is not on your side. Don't stress. It is the nature of Mercury retrograde where things just kind of fall through, contracts fall through, communication, technology, they all kind of are affected in a specific way, and it's not going to be like every single day. It's probably just going to be like one or two things that happen where you're like, ugh, if it wasn't for this, then I'd be able to just move forward without any issues, and I'd be able to just take it and run and go, and everything would be great. But it's all right. Don't stress. Things kind of tend to even or iron themselves out over time. What's grounding you, or what's the foundational card, is the Empress. It's maybe someone in your sphere. Okay. This tends to be the motivator, right? So whoever this is, this person tends to really be the reason why you're here, the reason why you are wanting change. I don't think you're trying to get away from this person. It's just someone, okay? Some type of, likely a female, doesn't have to be, it could also be a male, someone that you strive to either impress or you strive to serve, strive to get their attention. I'm getting like you want them to validate you in some way, and that's why there's so much movement happening, or you're trying to have a lot of movement happening in your life. You're trying to get from point A to point B, or from point A to point Z, depending on the way you're doing it, for the sole purpose of some reason why, and this person is at the root of that action, okay? So you're kind of like a racehorse right out of the gate. You may have been in a state where things weren't happening, right? No career opportunities were coming in, no promotions, clients were tough to get. Whatever it was that you were dealing with, you were kind of in this state of suspension. And this could be a long time, right? It could be something that you or just felt stagnant and nothing was changing. And you may still be feeling that way because change is crossing you, it's challenging you, and it's just not quite fully like manifesting itself. Hanged Man is also a perception change. And sometimes we are forced into a state of delay because it is important for our perception to change. All right. So the harder and harder we fight to get things going, the Hanged Man energy slows us down. It's like grabbing us by the reins and pulling us back, forcing us to walk baby steps, right? And the reason for that is because sometimes there's something that you're missing. The fact that it's in your past means that maybe you got something or you now understand something, which is great because maybe this is over. Okay, maybe now you really can embrace the new phase in front of you, the new project, the new goal that you've set for yourself. And that's super exciting, okay? Might not be time though in the near future, Page of Cups reversed. You might not get that offer. Like I said, Mercury retrograde at its finest, things not coming through, messages not coming through, the things you want to hear, you hear either the opposite or you hear nothing, okay? So if you put resumes out there, you've gone to job interviews, you've done all these things and things aren't happening, it's okay, it will. This wheel is always turning. It might feel like it's working against you right now, and it might over the next few weeks and into the next month or so, but seriously, it's going to ease up. That energy is going to ease up. Three of Pentacles crowning you. Can you see that? Yeah. This is creativity, right? There may be some things in the works. There may be some projects and ideas that you're kind of talking about. And, you know, you've done a lot of things in your life. You've gone through a lot of things. You have a new perspective, a new outlook on everything, which is super exciting. You are trying to, like, I'm getting the word hustle. I feel like you're hustling, okay, which is good. You're hustling, you're working hard, you're doing things. It just might feel a little bit like extra work to get those new things off the ground or to get those contracts signed or to get those deals closed or whatever. But it's pure in intent, right? Like you're doing everything you can, everything that's within your control, you are doing that. And you are maybe trying to grow your clientele or your customer base or, you know, trying to, well, it's thunder and lightning. Hopefully it's not too loud for us. If it keeps interrupting, I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep going and powering through it because you're my last reading and I really want to get these up. So I'd rather not wait for the storm to pass. Yeah, so let's go ahead and focus on the next card, which is the Two of Wands. Just be cognizant and be careful. I kind of feel like you're doing exactly what you should be doing. You're in a really great place. Everything is kind of like, there's a lot of work to do, don't get me wrong, and there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of, you know, squeaky wheels, if you will. They all need attention. They all need to be greased. There's a lot of stuff. I think that you feel like you're lost or you feel like it's hopeless or you feel like you're a little bit directionless right now. I don't think you are. All right. Just because things maybe not be coming or manifesting themselves immediately as soon as you put in the effort doesn't mean that it's not going to manifest itself later on. Later on is going to be like where the gold is. Okay. So just like get through the month and do as much as you can, get as much in the pipeline as you can. Like if you're in sales, okay, if you're a stay-at-home mom, just keep everything going the way that you're supposed to go. You know, start new projects, but just don't get your hopes up too high. I don't want to see you disappointed. You can be hopeful, just don't like aim for the stars right away, because when things maybe don't or you don't hear exactly, then I don't want you to feel depleted. And there's no need for you to feel depleted, but I think that on some level you might, okay? It's not all for nothing. It's not purposeless. I don't really think that you are feeling lost per se. I think you're feeling lost, but I don't think you are really lost. I think you're right on the right track and you are doing everything that you need to be doing. All right. Patience is important. You may feel a little bit of a lack of balance as well. Twos can sometimes indicate balance. You know, if you are feeling overweighted in one area, meaning all your attention is going to one thing, it's important to try to find balance within your life, between your home life, your relationship life, your work life, your spiritual life, and all these things. We've all overloaded our lives with so many things. So in any way you can, find simplicity, because through simplicity, you'll have shining beacons of destinations and goals that will stand out above the rest. And those are the things you should be working toward. And the Three of Cups is your environment. Like, so I'm so happy this reading is turning out to be kind of positive, because I had a couple rough ones in here and I'm not really looking forward to reading the comments because I'm a little bit nervous. But, you know, you've got a really great message here. Your environment, it's like, I feel actually as though maybe this month might be really good for you and might feel easy for you. Social activities, going out, having a good time, meeting your girlfriends or your guy friends, and connecting with your individual self, especially if you're married or in a relationship. This month might be a really good month to plan friends, activities, and doing networking things for only your business and not doing things together, okay? Finding your independence. I think you're hopeful of moving away from something. I don't ever see Eight of Cups in the right side up position as being a fear. I think it is a hope, right? Whatever this is, I think you're really trying to move past it, really trying to move on. I think you're hopeful that you will. This is a hope or a fear. It's neither, it's not a reality, okay? So maybe you haven't quite moved away from it yet. And it could be this person. If you're not in a relationship, or, you know, this could even be like a boss that you don't really want to work for anymore, or whoever this person is, I feel like this is associated with these cups, or whatever comfort realm, whatever, you know, comfort that you feel or familiarity. I think you're hopeful that you will find a way to separate yourself or detach yourself and find a way to, you know, carve your own path, so to speak. And here's the Mercury retrograde theme, the Seven of Wands, things just working against you, okay? But it's not a big deal. It's little things. You may just kind of feel like you're fighting alone, though, and there may be times that come in where you're like, oh, this is so ridiculous. Why am I even doing this? Why am I even saying these words? Or like, this is all just so... It was all just a miscommunication, or like whatever it was, right? And you may feel like you're fighting alone, or feel like you're fighting an uphill battle. Just know that the energy is temporary. Most people will be experiencing that, except like Leos. They had like the most amazing reading. But, you know, most people are going to be feeling this toughness of completion, getting things finished, getting things done, communication, you know, work doing well, contracts getting signed, all that stuff. So if like I said, if things don't work perfectly, it's okay. Nine of Wands. You know, it's important to have a level of courage and standing up for yourself, right? Like you're not just gonna roll over and let people take advantage of you. You will maybe find a need to really stand your ground. I don't know what that means. I don't know how that relates to you and the people in your life, but there may be a time when you really are like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this to be in my life, or I really don't agree with you, and I vehemently disagree with you, and we really need to find a different solution. If it's not my solution and it's not your solution, then it needs to be something else, okay? So finding that win-win for both parties, or all three parties, or however many, and being secure in yourself to say that, being secure in yourself to fight back a little bit, because you don't want to be taken advantage of, especially when there's creativity involved. A lot of times people take advantage of kindness and your kindness and your generosity of your time. And I don't want to see you expending a lot of time in the hopes of making someone else's dreams come true. Like if it's a client situation, I don't want to see someone like I'm getting an image of a client that eventually you're going to fire, right? Because they just look at this for me, or do this. Can you research that? Can you do this for me? Like they're kind of sending you to be your errand boy or something like that, or your errand girl. Be strong, stand up for yourself. Make sure that you don't let your kindness and your goodness be your downfall kind of thing. All right? And the King of Pentacles. I'm wondering the connection between the Empress and the King of Pentacles and what that is. Don't know why I'm not seeing the Empress as you, Pisces. I really feel like it is someone else. The King of Pentacles, I feel, is you, because it's got that practical, the King of practicality, okay? You've got the drive. The King of Pentacles has a lot of drive and inner motivation. He may be slow moving. He may be, a little bit dry or a little bit boring or whatever you want to call it, but he does know how to get things done. He does know how to work hard. He does know how to get down into the trenches and do the dirty work. He's not ashamed to do that, right? He doesn't feel above the dirty work. And I think that you are more than happy to dive in and get your hands dirty and do what you need to do to accomplish this goal, like whatever it is that's leading you into the future, okay? And the Queen of Pentacles, so many, and now I'm feeling the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles potentially may be the same person. So if it does speak in terms of a significant other, very possibly is, but it could also be a business partner or someone that you have to work on projects with, or even a client of some kind as well. But why in the past, I don't know if there was something that, like I said, I think that this is the motivation for getting you to this Eight of Wands place, Eight of Wands being the first card, getting you to that Eight of Wands place where you're ready to move on. So we've got the 2 eights. Eights are the number of movement and change. So you are wanting change. Her back is turned towards you, and whatever it is, whatever happened, I don't know, but you are antsy and anxious to move away. 5 of Swords in your near future. I don't want to see you participating in bad cycles, right? Like if you don't hear what you want or you don't get what you want, just be really cognizant of like 5 of Swords is that battle that you can't win, or, and I said this in one of my past readings, was the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Just be sure that you are being smart about what you're doing and that you are not falling victim to past bad behaviors. It's really time to break the pattern. And when you feel frustrated, or when you feel like things aren't going your way, which you will this month in some capacity, you will feel the effects of what's going on in the sky. And you don't want to just throw your hands up and be like, forget it, I'm done, I'm just going to go back to the way things were, right? Because that's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So then you have to make that up later. So just be cognizant of that. And the Queen of Wands in the reversal. If you are collaborating with someone, if you are working with someone, I don't know if it's, I think it's different than this person. I think this person may be more past and this person may be more present. Okay, so Queen of Wands is a fantastic business person, has a lot to offer. However, in the reversal position, be super careful. I don't trust the Queen of Wands in reverse. There tends to be often ulterior motives and a personal agenda at play. So just be careful of of that. And then we have the Five of Swords here. So there really might be a little bit something sneaky or a little bit something backhanded, something deviant or devious. All right. So just be cognizant of this person. It's a fire energy. Doesn't have to be, but could be Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. Just be aware. And the Knight of Cups. I feel like you are following your heart. But I think it would behoove you to follow what makes sense. Okay? Following your heart can lead to confusion sometimes in this, especially after the Venus retrograde, right? Because I think your heart doesn't quite know what it wants. I think you're ready and you're open for anything, and you're open and ready for any type of change, and whether it's a love interest. Okay, I know it's not a love reading, but it is a Cups. But, whether it is a love interest, whether it is a new business opportunity or something, financially to get you to the next station, you're ready and you've got an open heart and an open ears, but it makes you vulnerable. I'm sensing vulnerability around you, which is why standing up and having courage is so important. This is kind of like a bulldozer energy. All right. I think you are this King of Pentacles, but you're maybe coming off as this Knight of Cups a little bit. So important for you to harness this and bring this out. All right. Because this King of Pentacles is what's going to trump this type of energy. This is what, the King of Pentacles I often see. It's actually the card of Taurus, okay? The court card that represents Taurus, because it's a fixed sign, and fixed come out as kings. And however, I often associate it more with Capricorn, which this is the Capricorn card. But anyway, I often associate it more with Capricorn because I know a lot of Capricorns, and they tend to be like very cut and dry. It is what it is, bottom line, whatever. Okay, they're very good at keeping emotion out of things. But if you cross them in any way, they will win, right? They win. They are winners for sure. And they don't rest until they've won. And they're always right, and this is you. You have this energy about you, which is ideal. This is not ideal for you when you're dealing with this type of a person. This is the one that's going to win. Like if you do need to go to court for whatever reason, if that's something that you're dealing with, this is the energy you need to tap into. Okay, the logic, the practical, the methodical, one step at a time. Got to do what you got to do. I don't care how big your workload is. You just got to do it. Get your hands dirty. All right. Don't succumb to what makes you feel good. Don't succumb to what makes you feel happy in the moment. Okay, this is more long term. This is more moment to moment. All right. Six of Wands is a card of victory. Victory is on your side. This is such a positive reading. I'm so happy for you. I was so nervous. That's why I put that disclaimer in the beginning, because I was like, I've got a couple really bad ones in here. But, this is a card of victory and success. And I think you do have luck on your side to an extent. I know it's crossing you, but you do have it. It is there. It is present. So it's like, don't worry about getting in a fight. Not a fist fight, obviously, but, don't worry about standing your ground. Don't worry about standing up for yourself. It will be hard. It will be a lot of work, and you will have to do things that you're not comfortable doing, but you can do it. I think you are wanting a more carefree existence. You're wanting that freedom. You're wanting that joy of weightlessness. I think a lot of you are feeling a lot of weight, like you have a lot of responsibility, you have a lot of things going on in your life, and this thing is like exciting, and this is something that you want, and it's something that you are striving and working for, and that you are motivated to achieve. And you're not going to let anyone get in the way of that. Like, don't allow anyone to stand in your way. Don't allow anyone to sabotage what you have going for yourself. I feel like this Queen of Wands is like a roadblock, like a big blob in the middle of the road, just totally blocking you. So whoever that is, you know, it's really important for you to put up a fight, okay? It will be hard because the Queen of Wands is a little bit of a force to be reckoned with, okay? And she can be revengeful. So just be careful. But I think, in my humble opinion, the way that I see this happening, okay, because the Queen is a little bit shifty when she's reversed. But the King in the right side is honorable. And in a court of law, I think a well-founded case that is true will beat someone's poor intentions any day of the week, all right? And I'm just using that as like a visual example, well, kind of visual example. So I wouldn't be afraid to do what you need to do. Death card. Reverse though. The resistance, like you want this, you want the carefree, you want the responsibilities to go away, you want the peace. It's just not time yet, all right? I think you're in the depths of this death card, which is transformation and change and, you know, breaking up with your past self. All right, I do dailies on Instagram. If you want to follow, it's Jane International. And I kind of did a reading like this today, and I've mentioned it a couple times to the other signs that I've done today, because I don't know if it's just today and the energy's coming out, or if it's kind of a theme of maybe the next week or so. But it is important for us to break up with past selves, past versions of ourselves. You know, what was I gonna say? It's not emotionally mature to hang on to where we have been. You know, you've been through a lot. You're human. Everyone's been through a lot. We all have our stories. We all have our ups and downs. I think you're coming out of a down. Maybe not. Some of you are. Some of you aren't. I don't know. But for some reason, you're clinging to that past self, and you are resisting the change that is right in front of you that you could have. And I'm feeling it connected with this Nine of Wands, of standing your ground and standing firm and being clear, and like being really clear and being like, look, this is what I want, and I will not settle for anything else. For some of you, it's a need. Some of you need something. Some of you need to move away, or you need this feeling of carefree. Like some of you, I think, need to just be able to breathe again. Just breathe. But you've maybe had a hard time tapping into this inner strength. I think that there is someone that has worn you down. If this is all the same person, then they're all around you. It's like all consuming. If it's different people, disregard, but you know, it is an all consuming energy, and it's very demanding. It is a very demanding energy as well. Ten of Wands. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of work. You have your work cut out for you, that's for sure. But there's a mess that needs to be cleaned up. It's no longer acceptable, I don't think, that it's still in your life. Okay? If there is a situation that is not serving you, Now is a good time to, like, I'm saying the same thing over, I'm sorry, but to get your hands dirty, get down in the trenches and do what you need to do. This is like survival stuff, right? You don't owe anything to anyone. You are not obligated. Do not allow your kind-hearted nature to be walked all over. Six of Swords in the foundational position. It is with you, right? You and this person moving away, the lessons learned. I don't know, I don't like this in the future because it's telling me, or it's indicating to me, that in some way something will be repeated. I think you're trying to get something out of your life right now. I think you're working for that right now. And I'm wondering if it's not more overwhelming than you had originally anticipated, and you aren't maybe seeing the results, right? The page in the reverse, you're not seeing that. You've got the Wheel of Fortune crossing you, like you feel like you don't have luck on your side, or the universe is not working in your favor, and I understand, and I completely empathize with you. And maybe some of you are like making excuses and rationalizations, like, look, it's too much. I'll have to, maybe I won't get freedom if I remove myself from this. Maybe it will put me in a worse position if I do move away. Well, at least it will free up time, right? Or at least it will free up a side of you, or give the energy back to you instead of expending so much energy toward them. In the past, I feel like this past is like scratching at your door, like trying to get back in. And even though they may have turned a cold shoulder, or like, I don't think that you completely disrespect this person. I don't think that you like, it's just something needs to really change. I think you will hear from them. I think they will be back. I think they will like try to fix whatever it is. It's going to be up to you whether you want it, but you're expended, right? I think you've spent everything that you can spend. I think you've fought as hard as you can fight, and it just is what it is. And unfortunately, I think there needs to be some acceptance of loss. Now, this may be a financial loss. Like if some of you are going to court, there may be like that you have to pay in order to get rid of this, or to walk away from this. Maybe you don't want to pay, and that's why you are repeating this cycle, right? Or maybe you are just like, you'll have to work harder once this person is out, because maybe this person represents an income stream. So once you get rid of this income stream, then you're going to need to find a new one, and you may have a little bit of hard time in the meantime while you're finding it, or you may need to like dip into your savings or something, right? Or maybe deals aren't coming through and you are having to like dip into your savings now because things aren't coming through, and you're like, oh God, I'm back in this position again. I worked so hard to get out of it, and now I'm back. It's temporary. It really is temporary. Okay, now this can often indicate a reconciliation. So sometimes this person, or perhaps this person may come back, although I don't necessarily see apologies coming your way. I think there is an ego associated with this person. I think you are kind of waiting for something from them, or waiting for an opportunity of some kind. In regards to this business thing, the Three of Pentacles down below, but also in addition to this person, somehow, some reason you're waiting to hear from them, or something about them, or whatever. Yeah, this is an opposite. This is opposites of you. It's like the fighting, desperate, so focused, revengeful type of energy, but also like your Knight of Cups side. like two sides of yourself opposing one another. That's Pisces, though. You've got the fish, right? This is the side that's going to get stuff done, though. This is the side that's going to get stuff accomplished, the side that's going to fight, the side that's going to stand up for yourself. This is the side that you need for that, right? Look, you may just be a little bit feeling lost and confused and unable to see the big picture, and that's okay. It's really okay. I think that big picture will come shining through at some point. But what you know is that you have an idea that you're trying to get off the ground, or something that you're trying to do, and someone is in the way of that. That's all you know. That's all you need to know. It's important for you to know that getting this person out of your life may be a challenge. It may be hard, but I know you can do it if that's what you really want. The problem is I don't want to see you being taken advantage of because you don't want to expend whatever this is, time, energy, money, love, whatever. You don't want to give this, or you don't want to lose this, so you keep it going, right? For the sake of whatever, for the sake of the business, for the sake of the, keeping the peace between families or whatever. But ultimately, you would be at a loss by doing that. And judgment is a whole, like, I know that you are hoping for blessings. I know that you are hoping for clarity and for a saving grace. I think that you're kind of almost waiting for that prime, ultimately perfect moment where everything is just going to come together and everything is just gonna, but it's a hope, right? Hope is not a reality. It is just a thought. Don't expect a saving grace, or don't expect a savior. You need to save yourself. And it is going to be hard. Your emotions are a little too charged. Your emotions are a little bit too much at the forefront right now. Remember, pull out that King of Pentacles side. That could speak to you in terms of a person in your life as well, the King of Pentacles. It could be like a friend or family member or something like that, someone else that has the means to help you. Do not be so prideful as to not ask for help. It's important for you to ask for help if you really need it. Four of Cups. I'm just a little bit worried because it does have the Death card right below it. And that's kind of what's going to keep you in the death reverse, and it's not going to allow the death process to finish. I think that there's something going on that you're hanging on to. You're not ready to make a major change because you don't want this loss, all right? And that's totally your call, 100%. I don't know the details of your life, right? So you got to make that call based on your personal circumstance. I'm not really advising you one way or the other. I honestly think I think with Mercury retrograde, it's best to just not really do anything, because sometimes I feel like when big decisions are made during this time that they usually kind of either backfire or they don't pan out exactly the way you wanted. So maybe it's okay that you aren't jumping the gun, or, I know that you feel antsy and I know that there's something that you want, but the Wheel of Fortune, your fate, your destiny is saying not yet. And that's okay. It's temporary. Okay? Alrighty. All right, Pisces, I'm going to leave you with that. Hopefully it provided a little bit of insight for you. And that's it. I will wish you nothing but the best. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next month. Bye.